Hello from ITU Telecom World here in Geneva in Switzerland. I'm speaking with Gift Buthelezi with the Ministry of Telecommunications in South Africa, where he's the Deputy Director General of Communications. Gift Buthelezi, welcome. What, in your opinion, are the principal challenges facing South Africa and the rest of the world as far as ICT is concerned today?
The challenges that posed by the broadband infrastructure in particular, especially in a developing country like ours, and in regions where there's very limited uptake and usage of ICTs, and there's mobile technologies coming in, mobile assets, mobile banking, and the rest of the other services that are provided, creates a situation where we have to try and speed up and be ahead, because technology and innovation actually moves faster than any other thing. So from the country like South Africa, where it's located geographically, with Zimbabwe around, Lesotho, Mozambique, we have this added burden of ensuring that we move faster and we pull the SADC region. So that's one thing on broadband. But having said so, is the spectrum, scarcity of spectrum. If you look at the digital migration process, broadcasting digital migration, it poses a new challenge itself around issues of spectrum, availability of content for the channels that have to be provided. So that on its own creates an immense challenge around the services as well, from a broadcast perspective. Having said so, there's myriad of issues that emerge, new technologies, LTEs, and the rest of the others that are emerging. So we really have to speed up the process. But also instabilities of governments. Most of Southern African governments and African governments are very unstable. So that on its own creates a challenge in the ITU perspective in terms of consistency, program, policy, making regulatory issues that have to be followed.
What are your expectations when you come to a show like this? What will you take back with you in terms of knowledge that you've gained during your time here? And do you have a particular message that you want to give to the delegates and the visitors?
This is one of the best shows, quite frankly, because to exhibit is one thing, but to link that exhibition with a contextual understanding of where these applications work and the thinking works, it's another. For me, this exhibition is a masterclass. If you've missed this one, you've missed one of the greatest, because in all the classes that we attended, you get so much within a short space of time. What you'd have thought probably in a mini NBA class, we are getting it in 4 or 5 days. So I would like the delegates to optimize the attendance of the classes, because there's so much that you need, especially policymakers, business people, so they understand what is happening in the world, what is happening globally, and issues of competitiveness in this industry. What are the new solutions that are needed, and where do they apply, and the lessons that are learned, especially from R&D perspective, because most of the people that are presenting it are well experienced in their field. They've done R&D, they've been there, done that. You get it within a short space of time. So some of the things that we're battling with as countries and business people are there. All the leaders are the business leaders. So it becomes slightly different from just seeing, but you get to understand, conceptualize, and move on. So I would like the delegates to ensure that they get the best out of it from the masterclass. To me, it's a masterclass. It's a global masterclass exhibition, where they really have to learn within a short space of time. You miss this one, you are gone. Because we're going to WRC 12, there's wicket, isn't it? So you really have to speed up so that you understand. ITUR soon, so we realize you really have to try and get the best, gather the information, go back to your country, go to business, and prepare yourself.
How do you think ICT can best be used, not just to foster economic development, but also social development in South Africa and in other parts of the world?
One, let me start with the social networks. They are a very transformative tool for addressing social issues, for addressing human rights issues. We've seen it in parts of the region of the world, around Tunis, how the social media was so useful. So from that perspective, it's very much important. Also in optimizing the democracies in countries, and we're able to have people expressing how they feel. But having said so, that it's very useful for education. Other development challenges for addressing people with disabilities. It's quite a number of other issues that ICTs do socially, to connect lost relatives, to trace people's histories, genealogies. It's quite a number of things. Because even if I had schooled somewhere, maybe in Harvard or Oxford, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you just go to the social media and try and seek the people you are schooling with in which year. There you get them. It wouldn't have happened anywhere else in the world. So the development challenges that we have social, most of them need immediate solutions, and most of the solutions are in the ICTs. They are social ones. For multimedia, packaging, content, development, arts, indigenous knowledge system, and the other heritage issues that we have. They are captured in ICT. We move from analog to digital in terms of packaging, information and knowledge.
And what about economic development?
I think the world is changing, and ICTs make the world go round. Quite frankly, to me, they are the next mineral resource. When those that are underground in minerals go down, ICT becomes a solution. You look at the issues of green economy, e-waste and all of your recycling, and also efficiencies around energy, biofuels and all of you. So ICT is cut across all the sectors. You have transport technology, you have aviation technology. So without ICTs, we're just nowhere. We're not going to operate. If we remove them, then the world will stop.
Can you tell us what concrete steps you're taking in South Africa to bring broadband to the entirety of the population, not just urban, but rural as well?
Broadband is, for us, one of the critical catalysts for our development. When we looked at it, we realized that if we have to reach out to rural communities, we really have to speed up the issue of broadband. So we've produced the framework, the national framework. We also produce the rural development framework for broadband, so that we maximize the issues of access. We've been talking about universal service and access all along. We have the universal service access fund, but with broadband, we'll be able to reach out very quickly to see the results of that process. So, and we see it as a tool for connectivity, related issues on e-health, e-education, e-culture. It's quite a number of other things, isn't it? And especially for SMME development at rural level, because people are migrating to cities, we are trying to block them from doing so, to develop in their own locality. So ICT is providing an immediate solution to some of their challenges. And e-farming, e-agriculture, it's quite a number of packages that we are offering. So in South Africa, we've lined up the process of development through broadband. So we look at the issue of speed, real-time data and other related issues.
And how does that relate to the Vision for 2020 initiative?
Firstly, we looked at it from the MDGs to try and look at how we look at broadband in terms of the MDGs. But having said so, we looked at short-term, medium-term and long-term. Where do we want to go as South Africa? So in the country, all the provinces have a vision, but nationally we have a vision that by 2020, in fact, in the National Planning Commission in the Presidency, they have set up a 2025 vision. But for us as ICTs, because we know some of the processes could be redundant, because there's a lot of innovation in technology. So 2020 for us was very much important. That by 2020, we want all of the South Africans to be, one, ICT literate, to know the value of the use of uptake and usage of ICTs, to start speeding up, optimizing the benefits of ICTs. It should not only be limited to those that are in urban areas, but everyone who walks around must understand.
Can you tell us one thing that you think needs to be done if we're ever going to get closer to the goal of providing more global citizens, more meaningful access to connected technology?
For me, internet access is a solution to quite a number of other issues. So if we get everyone to have an ID, birth certificate, all his records, and the internet access, then we've cut off a number of other things. Because if you have access to information, knowledge, you can interact, you can create opportunities for yourself. Wherever you are, irrespective of where you are, you can have access. You can actually create networks that would be useful for your own development. So the human development part of ICTs, for me, resides within the context of internet access. If we have that with right speeds, then we've cut off half of the human development around improving the quality of life. Yeah.
Gift Buthelezi, thanks very much.